campaigning is actively flagged off here in Andhra Pradesh. I'm joined by BJP State President and Senior Most Leader, Ms. Purandeswari. Madam, thank you so much for speaking with us. You're here on the ground campaigning. It's your birthday today as well. Wishing you a very happy birthday. What is the goal for the trio that has formed? Is it an inadmissible trio? Like, is it going to be a trio that is going to make change for the people of Andhra Pradesh?
Of course. Right since the morning, since I have been touring the constituency of Nadu Assembly, when I see the people, there is a lot of enthusiasm. Besides the enthusiasm, we see a kind of grit that they do want to remove the party in power now, because it has been so very anti-development. There's been no development, and the issues that the people have been facing over the years have remained quite unresolved. So we see a strong resolve in the people as we were moving around, that definitely they do want to change, and that I'm sure will culminate into a change of government on May 13th when the elections happen.
Interesting, because on one side we see the Janasena, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Telugu Desam Party going to, in an amalgamy, in a synchronized way. On the other side, we're seeing the YSRCP, Jagan Mohan Reddy levying several allegations against not only yourself but also against Mr. Nadu, Mr. Pawan Kalyan. How do you see these kind of allegations that are being levied, especially, your the top leader from the BJP? You've been here on ground and you've seen how things are going.
What is the allegation that he is actually levying against me? That I'm just a covert in Bharatiya Janata Party. That is the ultimate allegation that he is levying against me. So people know and they realize that there's absolutely nothing that he can actually frame on me. And for that matter, when it comes to the leaders of the other two parties, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu ji as well as Shri Pawan Kalyan ji, you see it largely as a diversion tactics, where he is actually trying to divert the minds of the people from his own misgovernance and misrule, because there has been a lot of corruption that has happened in the state. There has been absolutely no development, and his manifesto promises that he had made before 2019, when he was himself on a campaign trail, has really not fructified. So here we see a clear diversion tactics, where he's trying to levy allegations against the leaders of the other parties and try to prove himself as, holier than thou.
Especially now, your chief opponent is from the Congress, Mr. Kirigurudram Raju. He's saying that you're an opportunist and you've been waiting for an opportunity to come into the limelight and reap the benefits of this alliance. What do you say to his allegations?
Well, I'm sorry, probably his memory fails him a little bit. He knows the reason why I actually stepped out of INC as well. And that was when the state division had happened, and the issue of Polavaram was not addressed properly, which is when I had resigned. Let me make it very clear, I had resigned to the Congress party. And after I had resigned to the Congress party, there was a little bit of time in between, and then I had come into Bharatiya Janata Party. So where is the question of opportunism coming in here? I think he has to answer the question, and I hope his memory gets back, because he knows very well what happened when we were colleagues actually.
Madam, when we are campaigning actively on trail, how do you see the reach of the people? There are a lot of people out here, especially who, do you see that the change is imminent? Because right now, we're seeing 20 more days of active campaigning that's going to go. Do you think this is going to see a turf of change for the BJP, Janasena and the TDP?
Absolutely, yes. Because as I had mentioned earlier, even as we are on the campaign trail, earlier it was largely the coordination between the three parties that had to happen. So we had to come up with a structure where we had a coordination committee at the state, then at the district level, assembly level and mandal level and so on. So largely our focus was on getting our three parties together. Now we've hit the campaign trail, and as I had mentioned, as we are hitting the campaign trail, we see more and more of people now come out vocally and say that yes, they do want a change in the state, and I'm sure this will culminate into a change of governance in the state.
When can we expect the most awaited Telugu Desam Party, Bharatiya Janata Party and the Janasena Party's manifesto to be released? Because all eyes are on the manifesto, what you're going to bring out for the people.
Well, for Telugu Desam and for Janasena party, they being more of a regional parties, and their coordination had happened even 3 months before Bharatiya Janata Party had actually joined the bandwagon. So they were already on a joint manifesto, on a common manifesto, and they have chalked out their manifesto pretty well. But for us, since we were a late entrant into the coalition, we already have a national manifesto which was released just a few days ago. And when you compare the two, just as what the Janasena and TDP would want, the national manifesto also addresses the issues of the people, the common man, and more particularly the middle class. No, it's more nation-centric. What Bharatiya Janata Party manifesto is more nation-centric. So we would like to go forward to the people with a national manifesto as well as the common manifesto that exists between TDP and Janasena.
Ma'am, a last and a final question to you. While going on campaign, how do you see, is this the fight between YS Sharmila, YS Jagan Mohan Reddy, the brother and sister fight, do you think that's going to benefit the coalition that is most likely to win? Is that what you're saying? Is it going to be a plus for you?
No, there would be so many factors actually that would actually play a part in the ultimate election results. And we need to also remember that politics is very dynamic. So we never know what would happen when. But the brother and sister play that is doling out now, I'm not very sure if that will actually gain so much of traction. But definitely when we are going to the people, the ultimate agenda that we are going to the people with is development of the state, corruption that was really, really high in the state, and unemployment where our children were suffering, women whose atrocities against women have increased, the farmers have not benefited anything, the poor promises that were made for the farmers have not actually been realized. So we've been going to the people more with this, and I think people are actually identifying themselves with the issues that we are raising, because these are issues that the common man is facing, and I think that is more important for the people when we go to the people, that the issues that they face, the challenges that they faced are actually addressed, and a solution would be found for that.
YS Sharmila, do you think she is possible to make a dent in your alliance and the vote bank share?
No, in our alliance, I don't think so. Because definitely our the vote bank of the alliance and YS Sharmila are very, very different. So I don't think she would make a dent in us.
Last and final question to you. Do you see Giriguru Raju as a competitor?
When you are actually in the fray, come who may, I think we must put in our best foot forward and ultimately work towards the good result. So my goal would be, my ultimate focus would not be on whether he is a competitor to me or not, but rather my focus would be on how would I campaign, how would I ultimately come out with good results.
Any message to YS Jagan?
Just wait, the trio is coming to power.
Thank you so much. That is BJP State President there, Ms. Purandeswari. She goes on to say it's not only going to be the trio that is going to come back to power, but also she goes on to state that this is going to be the much-awaited change that the people of Andhra Pradesh want and need. With video journalist Viru, Apurva Jayachandran, India Today.